Rich top, AI in the house. Plug in, level up. We building right now. From zero to hero, no cap. Let's go.
Hello, how's everybody? As usual, still setting up. Still setting up. So give me just a second here and I'll explain what we're going to do.
No fluff, no laws. Chain your thoughts, break it step by step. Few shot examples, now you got the rep. I was intermediate, still learning the game, but every fail taught me how to elevate the name. Rich top AI, streaming live every night, showing y'all the path, turn the dark into light. Silver AI, yeah, we stacking the code. Prompt the power, watch the future explode. AI, yeah, we stacking the code.
All right.
Parallel agents, multi-thread the clock. No more one shot. I orchestrate the crew, lane chain flows, make the model pursue. Tools in the mix, web search code run. Don't fear the loop, let the agents have fun. For the new ones watching, start smart, don't stress. Build a simple bot, then scale to the next. I drop gems weekly, real talk, no hype. Mistakes I made, so you skip the white from prompt engineer to full stack creator. AI ain't the future, yo, it's now. See you later. AI, yo, we stacking the code.
All right, so here is what we're going to do tonight. We're going to work on Squire. And Squire is my personal assistant. And this is the chat interface that we have. I actually moved my chat input box to the top because for me that makes more sense, especially when you're using this on the go on a mobile phone. So to me, that being up at the top, it's a lot more visual. So that's the reason I did that. I took any user input, and then the response to that is one single card, right? So this is a card. And the reason I did that, because there may be times that I want to save something. So let's say I wanted to save this conversation or this answer, right? Because here was my point with this. I do a lot of iterating, right, with AI. Do it during the day because I drive a lot, so I'll use the voice to text. And you get all of this information, and it's not easy to save it, or it's, you have to save the entire conversation, and then you got to go back and try to find it. So my thing was, don't waste tokens and don't lose tokens, right? So if you get an answer to something here, I can save it. So I would hit this little banner. I can tag it with something. If it was a memory, about autonomy, feature, whatever, you can tag it and then you could hit save and it would be there, right? So that's the chat interface. Also, one cool thing that I absolutely love that I implemented here. Let me see if I can find one. It's been a few days. But I should be able to. Here we go. So, all right. So the other day I was driving, right? I have a day job. I do this in the evenings. So I was driving and I saw some news. Well, actually, I wasn't driving when I saw the news. Anyway, I saw the news that Claude code had been leaked, right? That the source code was leaked. So I'm like, hey, Squire, go look at this. and tell me what you know, look at the code, tell me what you think, see how it compares to Squire. So, I got to go back. Whoops. Went back too far. Let me get back down here to this report. Did I go past it? No, here we go. So I had it create a report. So I have a format, you know, it's formatted, parse. We can parse out a actual nice looking report that can also be saved. I can copy it. I can save it as a PDF or as a markdown. So I actually can use this for my day job too. If I'm looking for a certain kind of flooring, or I want to do a comparison for somebody, or I want to send one of my dealers something from online. Because Squire has, you know, it runs on a VPS, has full internet, has its own email, can check my, it's integrated with Google. Actually, I did this up. This kind of shows. And this is the beautiful thing about Claude. And if you want to learn as you go, or if you want to learn anything, you can do it, right? Like Claude now has this playground skill, and it can create, it's just an HTML page, but can, you know, give you explainers and visuals. So this is the inside. This is how Squire architecturally works. Our LLM provider right now is Claude Sonnet 4.6. It's actually what we're going to work on tonight is the cost factor. It's costing way too much. I don't use Squire nearly enough. It's way more powerful than I use it for because of the cost. Because I do use the API. I don't try to use the subscription. We do have Claude code on the back end that Squire can call and use to build. So we are using the sub on that side, but not for the main agent. It's actually an API call. We also use Grok fast reasoning for our memory. So we extract entities as we have a conversation. Let's go. I think I can show you time. Yeah, these would be extractions. Memory. The user fixed a job scout issue last week, hallucinated jobs being pulled in, and expects a corrected report to arrive tomorrow confirming the fix. So this was something we talked about, and it was extracted as a memory. And then what Grok fast reasoning does is when we retrieve those memories, it actually goes in, searches. We use BM25, but we re-rank the searches to try to get a more accurate memory. And then what else do? We have Olama as an embedding service that runs on the VPS, so that doesn't cost me anything. Again, as I said, we're integrated with Google Calendars and Gmail. It's a Next.js front end. We have using Express and WebSockets. It's a Postgres PG vector database, and then we also have a knowledge graph for relationships. We have 2 background workers, a courier, which is just right now checking emails, and then a commune, which kind of just checks in, I think, twice a day. Just kind of does a system check. I have plans for that, but that's kind of its role right now. And then we also can use Telegram. So our memories, how that works is we have a chat, and as I showed you a while ago, we extract certain entities in the model, is making this call, right? I've been through this a couple different ways. And so far I found that actually having the model make that determination is better. And then we actually assign values to those beliefs and entities that are extracted. We call it's a salience value, and then we also attach an emotional value to it. And again, that's all synthesized by the model. And then we do what we call consolidate, or I call it sleep. And it's kind of funny, I built this just for proof. I built this in December. I know it's a thing now, especially since the Anthropic source code came out. But that's what I've called this, is sleep. So what it does is we're going to change this because it's too often, but every 15 minutes, it takes all of those extracted entities, if there were any extracted entities, and will consolidate those based on that salience value, the emotional value. So we're emulating, it's going to sleep, and we're emulating, that being processed while you sleep. And then what we do is it's not a retrieval. It's actually, I think we show it. Yeah. So the core memory here is we provided a living summary. And then we also have the knowledge graph. We have a beliefs and patterns, context that gets injected, a story, and then also, again, those salience and memory decay values are incorporated there too. And living summaries, I can show you that. And this layout is really bad, but this is the living summary. So we have, some background information. It knows about me, where I went to high school, knows some things about my relationship with my wife, family, my goals. All of this stuff is being extracted, and then it gets put and synthesized and then into this living summary. We've got things from today. We have overall belief report here that gets synthesized. Pin notes. So we have notes that we can keep track of. Those can get pinned, and then Squire can keep track of those, basically. And then any kind of patterns. So that is our memory, and this was not copied from anybody. This was me doing a lot of reading about how human memory works and trying to mimic it the best way I could. Still tweaking, still working on, but I've been using it since December. Let's see. Okay, that's enough of that. So what we're doing tonight, though, is it's costing me too much money a day. So I'm not using Squire nearly to its capability because of the cost. So we're going to try to figure out some cost-saving things we can do. I've already kind of primed Claude here, and we're going to just slowly and methodically work through this. I think one thing we're definitely going to look at is our caching, and then our prompt, because all of that living summary and goals and all that stuff is being injected when it comes in. So every time we have this big prompt, and we're going to see if we can cut that down, although we did some of that last week. But we're going to look at all of this again and just kind of go through it and see where we can find cuts and cost. And I'm actually really thinking about changing the model and how to do that, because I don't want to completely give up Claude. It's the personality's too good. It's like perfect for a personal assistant. But there's a lot of things I think we could probably do in the background, including, I'm thinking right now, having another model synthesize all of those living summaries and have it be a call. This is out of the box thinking, okay? I'm thinking out loud. No, do not hold me to this. It's just something I'm thinking about. If we had a smaller model that could hold on to those memories or access those memories, and then Squire Sonnet could call that model if we need to. I don't know. It's just something we're working through here, but we're going to do the basic stuff first. We're going to look at prompt caching. We're going to see if we can trim our prompt down that we're injecting and make that more efficient. And I have no music going, man. Got to get some music going here. I think I was listening to that. So I'm going to jump off screen here. We're going to read what we got, and we're going to start going from here. All right, I'm telling it to switch. I think I can zoom this in a little bit. I'm telling it to switch to Project Squire Agent. And what we're doing, I gotta zoom back out. So this is Mandrill. This is a dev tool that I built. It's an MCP that connects to your model. It has 21 tools, and it's basically a project management tool, context management tool, an architectural decision tool. It's a way to keep track of projects, to maintain projects, to keep track of what you did today, what you're going to do tomorrow. It works really well for handoffs. I'm not afraid to start new chats. I don't push them to 1 million contexts. I don't usually push them more than 200K, because I can just save context, save a handoff context, and then we can just come right back in and start up again. So what I'm telling it to do here is switch to that project. That's a tool. And then I'm going to have it search, because Mandrill is a vector database. It can semantically search, because we did some of this prompt caching work a few weeks ago, but I want to make sure that we did what we thought we did, and that everything is wired up the way it's supposed to be wired up. And that's where we're going to start. So that's what I'm doing here. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm just telling them to go check Mandrill for some caching information that we did, the context that might have been saved from the work we did a couple weeks ago. It should have found it. This is great. Yep, there's clear history here. Let me pull up the key findings. So this is a good example of why Mandrill is so good, because just like that, it knows exactly what we did. It's up to date. I don't have to tell it. I don't have to dirty up the context and try to use words that I don't know how to use. Everything I do, I'm trying to solve what problems I've run into as I'm building. And Mandrill was the first tool I built because I knew there was no way I could build with AI unless I could manage it.
No use in talking. The silence between me and you has never had meaning.
So it understands the situation and looks like it's investigating. It's seen that we had a plan. We implemented the plan, but we also had a few gaps. And now it's storing a context to Mandrill. So if we go, yeah, right here. So these are two contexts. It's stored on its own. I didn't tell it to do it. It just knows how to use this. And now listen, I do have information in the Claude.md, but my point here is it follows it. I very rarely have to tell it to use this tool. All right, so let's see what it's found here. Squire prompt caching audit, part 1 of 3. So the agent engine used by the goal worker and the commune, which we're going to shorten these workers up to. They're not going to run as often as they do. Concatenates static plus dynamic prompts in a single message, completely bypassing prompt caching. All right, so we can get that fixed. All right. So basically this is our fix right here. So our agent engine is not taking advantage of the cache. It's splitting the prompt. And when we do that, we lose the advantage of the cache. And cache is a temporary memory. In case you don't know what cache is. Most of you probably already know what cache is, but it's just a temporary memory that you can take advantage of instead of having to send that same prompt back and forth and use those tokens over again. You're just reusing what you already sent. That's a basic explanation. All right, that was 1. What are we saying in 2 here? So our format layer. So good cache there on our socket. So everything's good on that one. Back to that agent engine again. So that's our main fix, is this agent engine. Everything else we implemented it for. So let's go fix that first. All right, so I kind of pulled the reins way back on this session because I kept telling it we're going to go slow, we're going to go methodical, and I also told it we're doing this live, so it's going to be overly cautious now. So it wants to pull up engine.ts and walk through the fix. So what I'm going to tell it, yes, show me. So I'm telling to, yeah, show us the code and let's explain it to our live stream audience. If anybody's watching, tell me where you're from. Say hi. Tell me a project that you're working on. All right, let's see what we got here. Oh, okay, I see. Yeah, that makes sense. So what we're doing is we're taking the system prompt, which is, who Squire is, how it's supposed to act, its personality, and then we're taking that and we're putting it with another message. So every time we send that, we lose the cache because this second part of the message is changing. The first part stays the same, but the second part changes. And how cache operates is it has to be the same every time. Because if it's not the same, it thinks it's not the same, obviously, and it can't cache it and it doesn't want to use it, so it throws it out. So that's what we got to fix. So yeah, it's basically, it says when you concatenate them into one string, the dynamic content, the memory context changes, every call. So it's changing every call. That makes the entire string unique. Therefore, it doesn't match and we lose that cache value. I'm going to tell it, let's go ahead. Let's go and fix this. That was a good explanation. Give it a little hype, baby. Give it a little hype. Make Claude feel good. Oh, I forgot. Get your shots ready. Whatever you're drinking. I'm drinking Celsius. All right. But every time it says wait, but wait, we're going to take a shot. Because it thinks it fixed something. And then farther down the stream, it's going to say, but wait. It does it all the time. All right, we have a deploy script. Yeah, wait a minute. Hold on. Deploy script. You're looking at the wrong place, dude. Do we not have a script? I don't think it's I think it's just Squire deploy. There you go, sir. And this is an example of it had no idea. Like, that's my fault, right? Like, how's it supposed to know? Unless I put it in the Claude.md. So sometimes I think when people are saying, you know, people don't take responsibility sometimes, is what I'm trying to say. They blame the AI, but I think most of the time, no, it will do dumb things. Don't get me wrong. But most of the time, it's just doing what it's told. Doesn't know to do anything else. All right, so we're deployed. Let's make sure we're still up here. Let's check in. Put them in the bucket. Put them in the bucket. This is taking an extremely long time. Unusually long time. Yeah, we're gonna have to shorten that prompt up. People watching you, actually, we're gonna cover. I don't know. Is anybody watching? Nobody's saying anything. If they are, Squire wants to know if anybody's watching. All right, now this is the tough part. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have Claude explain to me first. Explain. Mix up the prompt. I mean, I know this, but so we can explain it. And also I'm doing this so it makes sure it gets the proper context for what we're about to work on. And it's not ARE, Brian. Come on, man. All right, so yeah, I'm just telling it to go get more information on the prompt, explain back to me how it works, what's in the prompt, how it's injected. All right, so our prompt consists of the base prompt, which is, again, the system instructions and who Squire is, how it's supposed to act. Then we have 3,200 tokens of tool instructions, which I agree that needs to be cut way down, especially if I use... Actually, I have all of this in here because originally I started this trying to use Olama. it struggled with tool calls. So that's why the prompt ended up having all of this explicit instructions trying to get it to conform to this tool call or these tool calls. But I see I moved from Olama, then I think I tried Grok 4.1 Fast because it's cheap. It is a good model. It's a great worker model. But the personality of Grok 4.1, it was a little too much for me. I couldn't get it toned down either. So yeah, we can definitely take out some of these tool call instructions because Sonnet's smart enough to just figure it out. This one we're not touching right now anyway. Okay. I agree with the all instructions. No need to explain any more than that. Let's implement this. Change as well. And deploy. So I'm just sending them off to modify basically the prompt. Get rid of all this tool call instructions that we don't need. And then the next thing we're going to talk about is, let's see if it got it in this. No. We're going to talk about the goal worker. So the goal worker is basically a pi mono type loop. I'm not going to lie, we modified the pi mono loop quite a bit. Uh-oh. It ended abruptly. That was weird. Well, I keep getting unstable on Twitch. It's weird. YouTube X, I think is fine, but not Twitch. This music is too slow for me tonight. Need something else. We need something else. Somebody really needs to make a good, I know some people hate this, but AI music streaming channel or site with different genres. That's wide open. There's nothing out there really that I know of. Okay, now all right, so what I'm doing here is I'm just having it, we're going to look at when I call Squire to look at our code base, if I want to add a feature or something like that. Pretty much Sonnet is doing all the work for the most part. I believe that's how we got it. So what I'm trying to do here is see where we can offload a lot of that non-reasoning stuff. and see if there's, you know, places we can save there. For example, if I am out and I need during the day, and let's say I need to do a import Excel file, and I need to do some data manipulation to this Excel file, but I don't have the code to do that. So we don't have a Python script or anything made up to do that. What I'm saying here is, let's get Sonnet to give it the plan, the goal, the work, and Grok for one, which it's 20 cents, I think, input, and I think 50 cents output, is a lot cheaper, and it can do the work. So that's the kind of thing we're trying to find, you know, where we can offload. And so we have a classifier that's supposed to switch these based on the type of reasoning needed or the type of work. But that's what I was thinking is not working right. Yeah, see, our routing system we had some hard coded stuff in there, and that makes a lot of sense to me now. This is going to help a lot because we were making a lot of calls. Commune was working. Oh, wait a minute, that was already. No, Commune and GoWorker both were wired Sonnet, so this is going to help a lot. All right, so we're going to clarify something. So if I open a chat with Squire and that model is Sonnet, I ask it to check our VPLS X and then build X Sonnet. just trying to verify the flow. What I'm saying is if I open a chat with Squire, the model is Sonnet, and I ask it to check our VPS to look for something or build something, then Sonnet will do that work, or it can call Claude Code, which is what we will do to save money. But if I ask it to do X via the goal worker, which automatically runs every 30 minutes to check if anything needs to be done, then it's going to use Grok. So, and it's saying correct. That is the way it's set up. So this is already, I'm telling you, is probably going to cut my cost in half. So if that's true, and we won't know for a couple days, but if that's true, then we've got something cooking here. Because I will put Squire up against anybody else's personal assistant. Let's just say that. It's been rock solid, not down once. As soon as I say that, it's going to go down on me, but it hasn't been down once. So yeah. All right, let's so it did deploy. Let's go check it. Looks like we're working. And that was much faster. We didn't have to cold load that time. All right, so don't think it did this, so we're gonna tell it to save a context on the work, and then we also are going to save a decision to worker. So that way in the future we'll know what changes we made, why we made the change. Again, this is basically my brains. I can't do anything without this. It's a very valuable tool for me. So we're going to see here, did it save the decision yet? Yep, just now. So if we look at it, problem statement, we switched all background autonomous LLM calls paths from Claude Sonnet 4.6 to XAI Grok 4.1 fast reasoning, fast tier. The actual decision that was made, and then the reason why we did it. And then when we can come back later and fill in the outcome and kind of track it. And then we have, you know, our decision date, so we know when it was done. So, and then if we go back to our context here, this is just, you know, this is a history right here is a history of Squire. This is actually not the first project. If we go back to, this is the birth of Squire right here. 310 context in here. Let's go look at when it was built. It was our first context 3 months ago. believe it was December 24th. Pretty sure. So yeah, that's day one. So I've got a complete history from, you know, the start to the current. Yeah. To current. Complete history of this project. And all of this across projects is all semantically searchable. So that is it. All right, man. We did a lot in an hour. It's pretty good work. So let's clear this. We're gonna start something else. Close that. I'm gonna put it there. All right, let's go start the servers. Is it already running? It is running. Actually, I'm gonna restart them anyway. Whoa, was that? You need to get back over there. How I did that, but I did. Actually, let me start this. I have a specific Claude MD file in for this project, so that's why I'm starting it in the actual project folder. All right. Switching gears. So this is Mandrill. As I said, this is the first tool I built. This is Mandrill V2, our second version that I am building, in the process of building right now. And the goal of this, if you watch this stream, you're going to tell. I'm trying to bridge the gap here between everyday people and this tech world that is just insane, right? Like, there's not a good bridge, in my opinion. There's not a good bridge. You've got people either saying they're going to put you on a path of a 10,000, what is it? AAR, MAR? I don't even know what it's called. I don't even care about that. But you got all these people out there trying to sell you on, get rich quick. It's not how this stuff works, right? So I'm trying to bridge the gap because I believe this is an untapped market. There's millions of me out here that don't come from the tech world, but have this problem solving, we'll call it skill, our problem solving gene. And now I believe, my opinion is that AI gives us regular folks a way to solve problems in your daily life or make things easier, right? Like that door's open now. These models are as bad as they will ever be. They're only going to get better. And I believe even if they stopped right now, you still can do so much with these things. So going back again, I've been in this for about a year, a little over a year now. So I feel like I've been through the trenches and figured out some things on let me just put it this way. This is not an easy field to come into blind, right? Like there's so many things you got to know. And again, I'm saying I don't think there's a good bridge between this world and this world, right? So that's what I'm trying to do with Mandrill V2. Get off my soapbox now. This is designed to be a tool for anybody to be able to use, and it's going to walk you through a build and walk you through how to deploy that locally. So what we do on trying to accomplish that by using contracts. So if you start a project and you come to the plan mode, you have the engineer and a designer, and both of these agents are going to walk you through your design, right? And they're going to fill in these contracts on the backside. And then when you go to build that project with the contractor, so you carry this project up. Shouldn't have clicked on it. So I did it again. Quit clicking on it, Brian. Journey was a game that we worked on last night. We started it in the plan mode with the engineer. Then we went to the designer to work on the front end. And then we handed these contracts that were filled in to the contractor on our build side. And then you click that and it will start the build. And what it's going to do is it's going to analyze the plan and the contracts, and it's going to try to fill in any gaps it sees. I'm going to stop that because we're going to start this from the very beginning. I can discard that again. So we had lots of issues. The flow works. You can absolutely build with this thing. But what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to find these edge cases and the gaps where we run into problems during a build. Last night's run was not good, right? It didn't build. The instructions were wrong. It didn't build the first time. It didn't run the first time. We had things hard coded that shouldn't have been hard coded. It was not good, but it was good because each time we make a pass through this, we learn something and we figure out something. So that's what we're going to work on tonight. Last night we did, we analyzed what went wrong on that first pass, or actually the third pass. And then we implemented some changes, which was basically just a lot of prompt work. Telling it that, it has to do this and then it has to do that. But what we did do is we added another agent that will actually review after each phase of the build and make sure that it's adhering to the contracts, because that's what we found last night was there were things defined in the contract, but they were ignored. So what we will do tonight is we're gonna try to speed this process up because it takes a little while to go through that whole design and architect or engineer phase. But let me get Claude primed up here. Should already know this, but we're going to put it there anyway. Let's do it this way. Need to put that. Make contracts and make sure they look well enough to pass to the contractor for build. That is a very incoherent prompt, but I think it will understand what I'm saying. So I'm basically directing it to Mandrill, to here, and to this project, and I'm telling it to get the last contract or the last context stored, and it'll grab the last 5. But this is the one we really wanted to look at, and this is the changes we made last night. So I wanted to look at that and make sure, confirm that my thinking is right, that those changes were mainly for the contractor and not on the engineer or designer side, which means I won't have to go through that whole flow again, and I can just start with the contractor. Was that clear as mud? So the changes were all in the man, I cannot talk tonight. The changes were all in the contractor flow, so we're good there. All right, here. So what I'm doing now is I'm telling it to, let's see, let's go over here. I go to journey. So we have our build in there from the other night. So we need to clean all that up. It needs to just be a fresh directory. So I didn't hit enter, did I? Oh yeah, I did. Just all right, so now we're ready to go. Oh, I put it on 2, didn't I? All right, so again, just to recap, and hopefully I'll do it a little better this time. So what we did is we had this idea for a game to test. And the game idea is it's a puzzle, story puzzle adventure game, right? So the user is going to come in, they're going to enter a character name, and then they're going to be able to give a description. Well, let me back up. First thing they're going to do is pick a genre. So they're going to pick sci-fi, fantasy, horror, detective, and I think Western. So they'll pick a genre, they'll pick a character name, and then they're going to be able to give a description of the story, how, if they want, or they can leave it blank. And then we're going to make a call to Grok 401 fast. Again, I use that model a lot because it's cheap, it's good. Grok is going to take that user input, it's going to generate a chapter 1, a story arc, and then a chapter 1 story. It's going to then generate an image prompt that will be passed to Gemini Nano Banana, and that image prompt is a major scene from the first chapter. Nano Banana is going to generate that image. We'll send it back to us. We're going to display it to the user. That image will shatter into puzzle pieces. They'll be presented with a canvas, puzzle pieces that they have to put the puzzle together, and then they move on to the next chapter. And I did forget one other thing. There's also an interaction question that they have to answer that can change the arc of the story. So it's not easy. This is a very difficult build. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of math. There's a lot of things they have to figure about taking an image and slicing it. State management of the pieces. There's a lot. And I'm doing this on purpose because I feel like if it can build this from natural language, just a user sitting down and describing what they want, then I just feel like this is a good test build. So that's what we designed. We described all of that to the engineer, and then we worked through with the designer to build the UI kind of how we wanted it. We have all of those contracts filled in, and now we're going to take it to the builder, and we're going to have the builder or the contractor build it. So what should happen now is it's going to review those contracts. It's going to itself look for gaps, edges, things it has questions about. It's going to generate some more questions. It's going to ask us. We're going to fill those in. We're going to send those back to it, and then it's going to go off and build. That was a lot of talking. Somebody say something to me, man. I'm talking to nobody. We should have those questions here in just a second. And by the way, I'm not sure if I should say this, but I think I'm within my limits here. I really wish they would answer this question, but we're using Claude Code headless to run this. So I think I'm fine. I think all the hoopla is just about everybody burning tokens on OpenClaw. I don't know why they would not want me to do this, especially if I'm going to try to push this to people, new people, and they're going to have to buy a Claude Code subscription to use it. So what do I know, though? I'm not a multi-billion-dollar frontier company. Mandrill. I know this is a very basic spinner, and we're going to make this loading page a lot better. Right now, we're just working on the flow, making sure we can get MV2 to build. Right, here's our questions. Puzzle pieces. Puzzle pieces can be rotated, but there's no place to save that rotation. Should we add a rotation field in the piece data? Yes. You know what? Actually, we really only need to rotate these pieces 90 degrees, right? All right, when a player makes a story choice, should the API send the choice text or number? I don't care which one we do, we just need to be consistent here. Let's send the... Wait a minute, that's got to get sent back to Grok. No, we're just talking about the database. All right, let's send this number. Yes, just be consistent. So what we defined here in that original spec was this carousel when you come in to pick your genre. So it's going to be sci-fi, horror, fantasy, and you're going to be able to, it's a carousel, it'll swipe. So it's just asking because there's no indication for the user. Should we put dots or arrows there? And we're just saying, let's use some arrows. Arrows. What triggers the shadow animation? Does it happen? Yes, happens. Happens. Auto after 5 seconds. And display to user. When exactly does the path view screen appear in the game flow, and how does the player get to it? All right, so it was asking me about, we're gonna have a path. It's just gonna be a path that you can traverse. So you'll have chapter 1, maybe up here at the top, then you'll have a path, and it'll be chapter 2, then you'll have a path, and chapter 3. If I thought I could switch, I could show you over here, but I'm afraid to switch it right now. If the AI generates the story text successfully, but the image generation fails, what should happen? I'm just keeping that simple. If it's basically asking if Grok generates the story, but our call to get the image fails, what happens? And I'm just saying, let's just present the user with the error. Yes, start at random rotations. And I'm going to put a note in here too, because see if it asks. No, it's not asking about it, but we're going to ask, we told it in the specs that we want to increase the difficulty of the puzzle as we go. So it's going to start simpler. And then as we go up, I think we're starting at 36 pieces. And then as we go up, we're going to finish at 100 pieces or 120. And I want to add a little note in there about that, about reminding that we want to start simple. But we also I'm going to make a reminder about the shapes of the puzzle pieces, because the last time they were very basic triangle cutout shapes, and they didn't, and they had straight edges that weren't edges, and it was a mess.
so in my head now. That's so used to being on my own. 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 I'm so in my
All right, so what I'm telling you is just a reminder that we're chapter 1 and we're starting with 36 pieces in simpler shapes and end with chapter 7 with 120 pieces. I think that's right, or however the math works out. So we're progressively starting easy to hard. And then I also gave it a reminder that we want the puzzle shapes to be like real puzzle shapes with curved edges, not straight edges. What should the loading experience look like during the initial story generation? I thought we had that defined. We're gonna do this. We did this last time and I like this. Use a quill, ink flow, and below famous quotes from stories and books. All right, so that should answer those questions, and now it should go off and build. And this is going to take some time. And I have no idea if anybody is watching live. And I certainly don't want to bore everybody if you are. Thank you, two boys. I appreciate that. Let's see.
I am who I'm meant to be. I am who I'm meant to be. Over and out again. My future needed clarity, so I could see how you react, how you react to me.
We should get some a status bar pop up here, and once the build starts. Actually, we're going to be presented with a plan first, and we're going to approve it, and then the build will start.
Doubted all that I could do, knowing what I need to do. All I can say, the word is thank you. I think it's what you need to push away from the shore, amongst the waves, exactly where I wanna be. I
I have an idea here. See if I can find this real quick. No, that's not. We went Gemma. Where's Gemma? All right, so Gemma 4 was introduced the other day. And because I have a full-time job, I can't jump on here and test everything. So let's do that. Because I know I can run, I think it's a 4B, I believe. Let's see the models. Let me see the models. Yeah, it's a 4B and a 26B, and I could probably run the 26B on this RTX 4060. Well, is it quantized? No. This 4B should fly though. So let's download this and we'll give it a test. And what we'll do is we'll have Claude, because I don't think I have it on this desktop. Let me see. Yeah, that's not on here. It's on the laptop, Brian. It's on the laptop. Let's go back and check. Oh, that's taking a long time. So get this model name. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna check something on my laptop. Let's do. All right, let's go back here real quick. See, there we go. All right, so we got to get Mandrill back to building here. All right, we're going to improve and build. Get that going. Now. I put clear up there. I did not put clear. Red model, exit. Let's load previous. And then we need a clear. New thread. All right, so what I'm doing here is I'm telling it let's download Gemma 4, the 4B model, and then I'm telling it to create a basic command line interface with thread persistence history. I'm telling it to give me slash commands for slash thread, which would load a previous thread. Slash clear is a new thread. Slash model will, I gotta tell it what that does. Get out of that mode, Brian. Get out of that mode. Model. Slash by will let us exit, and slash question mark which will give us a help screen. I already got show model. So what do I want to do with this one? Let's take that out. It can do this really easily, so I say that. It should be pretty easy. I actually have something similar to this on my laptop, and I had it on this desktop, but a couple weeks ago I switched back to Omarchy. And when I did that, I kind of lost a lot of stuff. It knows that. I don't need to say that. All right, let's go check on where we at here. 0 files created. Why is that? I think we're stuck. Yep. All right, so now let me go check. Do I have an error? Yep. Let's go check the logs. Oh, here we go. All right, so what we got going on here is we're stuck. We got a 404 error. I went and checked the logs. And then we've got a Vite proxy error, and I do not know what that is. I have no idea why that's showing up. But on our actual back end here, I'm not seeing any. So obviously our front end crashed. Let me just give it a screenshot. Why did that not work? Why did that not work? Print screen. Screenshot. Shift V. Come on, man. Try this again, because this has been working. I don't know why it's not working now. It's odd. It's odd. All right. It's actually going. I was not being patient. We got progress now. Come on, man. Let's see if I can do it here. Oh, I don't remember. Part of the problem is setting up a new OS. You lose everything. I got it. I got it. I don't have it. Oh. Fix your email, Brian. There we go. Let's see if this works again. Now that I'm signed in. You're 404 and man. Let's get back here again. I don't do this every day, so I'm trying to find where I got to approve this at. Let me just go back. Yeah, I see you're guessing, man. Quit guessing. Quit guessing. I don't see it, man. I don't see it. I don't see it. I don't see it. I don't see it. Is it at the bottom? Is it at the bottom? Not at the bottom. Anybody out there know where I'm supposed to click? I do not see it, man. I do not see it. I do not see it. Hmm. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Where's it at? Let's just go ahead and do this. It was something I've done this before that I've got to do here. Probably gonna have to change it. Get off the screen, Brian. Let me get over here and save it off screen. All right, got that. We're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. Oh. Didn't copy my whole thing. Hold on a second. Come on, Brian. Here we go. It's not copying. Not copying. It's not copying. Come on. What's going on with this? Making progress now. Stick with me. I think it's done, but I'm not confident. Let's see. So it's downloading. Let's go back and check on our build with Mandrill. We're about halfway there. This is something that we added yesterday, this domain research. So we're going out and getting examples of a build before we start building. I'm hoping that that helps a lot, especially on this particular problem of puzzles, which again, like I said earlier, is not an easy build. Is anybody running local models yourself? If so, what are you running? I've found that they're just not quite there, but they're getting there. But as far as building and trusting the coding, I'm definitely not there yet. Did it run that in the background? So it should get notified when it's done. So we are on phase 4 right now. So you can see 21 minutes ago, it did go out and do some research. Found that React and Canova, which is what I think we should be using. We also added this. After every phase, we're adding a verification agent, so that's working, it looks like. It found interface gap, chapter response type, and type.ts is missing puzzle seed field. So that's working. That's a good thing. Missing dependency. Might be a little aggressive here. Missing dependency again. The conventions contract specifies ESLint with flat config. Prettier for linting. So they're saying it didn't get added to the package.json. So this is all good stuff, man. It's doing its job. So it looks like one major issue and then some dependency issues. Let's look at phase. Why did that repeat? Oh, that was phase 1. All right, so phase 2. Yeah, this is working like it's supposed to. I'm thinking it's looking good anyway. Phase 3 verification warning. Model mismatch. Image services.ts uses Gemini. There, that happened last time. And this caught it. Dude. This
Yes.
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 Yes. Yes. This is awesome. I'm happy because one of the problems yesterday, and this is something we discussed, I specified Gemini 3.1 flash image preview in our contracts, right? When we were describing what we wanted built, I specified this model. I went and found the model and gave it its exact name. What happens is these models have a cutoff date. So this obviously model is newer than when Claude training date was cut off. So it doesn't know Gemini 3.1 Flash even exists in its weights, right? It has no idea. It only knows about it because it has to go out and search context and see that, oh, there is a new model. So they default back to their training data. So it switched it to Gemini 2.0. Well, that's what happened. One of the things that happened yesterday. So when we went to run it, we got an error saying that model doesn't exist. And this verification agent caught it, which makes me very happy. Very happy. It tells me that a fix that we did is working. All right, so if we go to phase 4, what do we got here? App.tsx calls initialize inside use effect. God, I hate use effect. Man, I really wish I could figure out how to direct them not to use it. In strict mode, which will double invoke the effect. I think this happened yesterday as well. Pretty sure this is the same thing we had yesterday. Double fetch. Calls a race condition. Yep. Listen, we might have more problems today, and that's fine if we do, because that's what we're doing is we're hunting problems, right? But what I can tell you is the things that we had yesterday, these fixes are catching them. It's good stuff, man. It's good stuff. All right, so it says our model has downloaded. So let's try Gemma. Let's try Gemma. Let's go back here one. Let's try ask. Oh, got an error. Come on, Claude. I was bragging on you that you could do this. Pointing to the wrong directory. Some parameters on the meta device because they are offloaded to the CPU. See something here. I can. Control No, I can't do that. There we go. There's no way. It's a setting issue. I did not know that model was 16 GB. Why am I getting that? Yeah, I don't want that warning there, man. It's fast. Certainly fast. This is my go-to. Have it tell me a story about a space cowboy named Big Country. We need to turn streaming on, though. I can tell you that right now. because I don't like waiting on the entire prompt before it displays. The GPU's doing fine. Let's do this. All right, we're gonna close that now. There's our story. It's kind of funny how they all write kind of the same, similar style, man. All trained on the same stuff. It's not terrible. It's not terrible. "12 of 18. We might get this in before 11 o'clock. Using Llama server. $120K, 28K token window is really strong for a local model. Yeah, I don't care if we switch or not. Let's exit. Let's see. All the things I can talk to an AI about, and then when I have to try to come up with something, I'm drawing a blank. Oh, we're streaming. We are definitely streaming now. You know what? I'm almost tempted just to see how it goes. I'm almost tempted to wire this into Squire and just give it a week and see how it does. I need to think about that though. Man, wouldn't that be a big advantage if I could use. Now, I know I couldn't totally switch. We'd have to keep Sonnet 4 in there for some reasoning, but what if the daily driver was a local model? Your data stays more private. That'd be a good thing, right? All right, 13 of 18. We're getting closer. We're getting closer to see if this is going to work. This is not a bad explanation. Let's do this, because this is what I really want to know. I can't do that yet. We got to give it tools first. All right, if nobody is on here live watching, we're going to shut this thing down for the night. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. thinking about something. I'm gonna do it. No, we're not going to do that right now. I'm not ready for that. I'm not ready for that. What I really need to do is let me see something. Let me see something. Yeah, it's not installed. See if I can remember this. It's cargo install. Can't remember if I need to build it first. I'm starting to roll now. My brain's starting to fire. Getting in a mode. And it's about time for me to go to bed. We're getting closer over here on our journey game. Let's look at our reviews again, see if we caught anything else on our reviews. We were at phase 5 was the last one. Or phase 4. All right, found a convention violation. Genre select.tsx has navigation arrow buttons and indicator dots. Swipe only. So that was an override. That's okay. The question is, are we using this information to fix this stuff? So what we need to do here, let's go back over here. So what I'm doing now is I'm asking if, because our review agent is finding some great stuff, right? Like it's finding issues in the contract versus what's being built. But my question is, what are we doing with that? Are we ensuring that that gets passed back to the contractor to be fixed? All right, so it is being addressed, so that's a good thing. Option A, it is. All right, y'all. I think this is a place I'm going to call it the night. I was hoping we could get to this, but we'll finish this up tomorrow. We'll come back live tomorrow and we'll have a starting place. We're going to start with checking this game journey. And we're going to do a complete flow through the game, see if it works, what doesn't work, if our changes caught some of the problems we had the day before. We will also come back and check on our new local model that we're testing, Gemma 4B. So if anybody's watching live, I appreciate you coming in. Thank you very much. Give me a follow, a like. I'm on X, YouTube, Twitch, Instagram, Facebook. So I should be Ridgetop AI at all of those places. So I'd appreciate a follow. All right, y'all. Thanks. Until tomorrow night, this is Ridgetop.